And today's video comes from a company that's no stranger to this channel. I've already reviewed products of theirs in the past, and I'll probably review more of their products in the future. It comes from TT Artisan. TT meaning the thinking artisan. And I only just found that out when they sent me one of their products to look over. And boy, it seems like recently they've been doing some thinking. Today we've got the announcement of their brand new, all manual, all metal instant film camera. So first, what is this new camera? Well, there's an inscription on the top of the camera that elegantly calls it the 203T. I don't know that that's going to be the final name of the camera, but at least at this point, that's, I guess, the tentative title or maybe an internal code name. We'll wait a little bit for a formal announcement for the name of the camera. Instant film camera with retro good looks. It's going to use the instax mini film format and it has rangefinder focusing. You can see it's got a little rangefinder focusing window on the camera body, and it's got a focusing scale on the front of the lens. And it's styled like an old folding camera, and you can see that it's got the little accordion style bellows that squishes up, and looks like you can even see the hinge to where the thing will completely collapse on itself. So super cool, very vintage retro styling, love that. Another key feature of this new camera is that it's a fully mechanical design. We talked about that a second ago, with a spring-loaded shutter that doesn't require batteries. A spring-loaded shutter is interesting because it means that, like they say, it doesn't require batteries. You have to cock it. And you can see the mechanism for that. It's a little green lever on the front of the lens barrel. Everyone loves instant film cameras, but the one limiting factor of instant film cameras has always been that there are no manual controls. You just hit the button and it takes your picture. Well, this new camera from TT Artisan seems to remedy that. And like I pointed out, there is no battery, so you're gonna have to do everything yourself. We mentioned cocking the shutter, but also you're gonna have to manual focus and you're gonna have to understand the exposure triangle. The lens is gonna be manual focus, the aperture is gonna be selected manually, as is the shutter speed. And you can make out just a few of the settings if you look closely at the lens barrel. In terms of f-stop, it looks like it'll go from f22 to f3.5. Shutter speed looks like it'll go to 1/300th of a second or 1/500th of a second. I can't really make out that number, but 1/300th would make the most sense given the increment. It is a leaf shutter design, and as we pointed out, you'll have to cock the shutter when you want to fire the camera. They also say that this new camera is going to feature soft bokeh, and I don't know whether that means that there's going to be a specific setting that you would toggle to activate bokeh control. I don't know, or that just by the nature of it being an f3.5 lens on a pretty big negative size, you're going to get a lot of bokeh if you shoot it wide open. We'll wait for more details, but it's intriguing. Another huge limiting factor of instax cameras is, I mean, at least for me, was the crappy lens that the things came fitted with. The resolution on instant film camera images is just non-existent, right? The lenses are just crap. The TT Artisan are advertising this new camera as having a Cook triplet design, which was patented all the way back in 1893, and it contains 3 air-spaced elements. It contains 2 biconvex lenses and a surrounding biconcave lens. I don't know anything about lens design, and I'm sure those words mean very interesting things. But the long and short of it is this camera is going to come with a proper lens and not just a couple of pieces of plastic jammed in there. You can also look at the lens and see that it's a pretty big opening. It's a pretty big chunk of glass on the front of the camera for an instant film camera, owing to its f3.5 design, wide open. It's also really cool that the camera looks like it's going to come in different colors, but with its instant film playful camera heritage, it does kind of make sense that they would include some alternate colors in the faux leather around the side of the camera. Looks like we've got black, we've got navy, we've got red, and we've got a yellow. Looks really good. And the rest of the camera is its natural silver color. In terms of why they would begin with an instant film camera, to me, it's really no mystery. Instax is hugely popular. I know I don't shoot a ton of instant film cameras, but I mean, broadly, globally, tons of folks love Instax. And it's easy to see why. You can buy the film at your local Walmart. You get the really cool little printout that you can stick in your journal or stick on your refrigerator. There's a lot of appeal there. So I think they're going for a broad segment of the market with their first entry into analog photography. And one Reddit user pointed out, and I thought it was pretty interesting, that maybe TT Artisan is using this new instant film camera as kind of a gateway into 120 format photography, right? That this camera would appropriately be able to be retrofitted into a 120 design relatively easy at some point in the future if they wanted to. And so kind of they're getting a 2-for-1 deal designing this camera. That kind of makes sense to me. But all that's to say, it's really exciting to have another instant film camera on the market, and really there's nothing like this. There are companies that have a little bit more fully featured instant film cameras out there, but they're not going for the same look and feel here as the TT Artisan camera. camera. If it's all metal build and fully mechanical design, this is a different thing entirely. It's not often we get this, but almost everyone on Reddit seemed to be of the opinion that this thing was going to be a hit. Redditors couldn't get enough of the nostalgic look of the camera, and they thought that they would sell a ton of these. And you couple that with TT Artisan's penchant for delivering really high quality products at really low prices, and it seems like it's going to be a winner, especially if it comes in under $300, $250, somewhere in that price range. I think they'll sell a lot of these. This is just more good news for analog photography on top of the past few weeks of wonderful news that we've had. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about this new instant film camera from TT Artisan. I, for one, think it looks amazing. And if you thought this video was cool, take a look at my history of film photography video. As always, guys, thanks for watching.